it's Richard Bromwell here from Charterhouse Auctioneers, here doing our walk and talk around our first auction of 2019. So it's another whopping 2-day auction coming up on Thursday the 17th and Friday the 18th of January. Now we split it over 2 days, and one of the reasons is because a huge amount of pictures and prints, including a huge selection of maps. We have hundreds of maps. We have maps of Kent. This is a lovely map of Kent here, sort of 300 to 500. We have Cuba, we have Great Britain, we have Britain again, we have more Britain, we have Surrey. There's a lot of maps of Surrey in area. Big collection of maps which has been formed over many years. The owner then passed away. Got through here, we've got lovely map of Surrey again here. This is a John Speed map here, around about 1615. Lovely with the Richmond Castle and Nonsuch Castle here. I'm coming around here again, and the maps have been formed over many years, some which are mounted, many which are not. And we go all the way down there, more maps, but also as maps we also have other bits and pieces. Now she's quite a, I don't think that's going to do her back any good, is it? I certainly don't think I could do that, but this is generating a lot of interest. Lovely bit of Art Deco here, the dancing girl, topless dancing girl I might add. She's kind of, for some reason she's sort of rubbed in certain parts more than others, and this has got a nice little plaque which might be difficult to catch the light here. This is from West Bradford Golf Club, Senior and Junior Vice President's Prize 1938. So a lovely looking Art Deco lady there, in between sort of £100 and £200. Coming on through here, more miscellanea, lots of the maps up above. We've got all the books on Wiltshire, books on Somersetshire, books on Dorset, and so on and so forth. We have bronze figures, we have violins, we have lamps, we have more maps again. Again, this is one of the better maps here, and originally came out of a big atlas book here, the Kingdom of England here, with these vignettes here, the nobleman, the good woman, the citizen, there we go, and the countrywoman, there we go. And so a map like that, sort of £300 to £500. Then through onto the main sale room here, George. We're going to sort of whiz past on George's left here. Actually, we've got a few of our automobilia signs. We'll do those a little later on. But on through here, we've got more maps. We've got maps, and then more maps as well. Most of these are individual lots or 2s and 3s or what have you. We've got all the counties, we've got across the world, we've got Captain Cook, we've got more maps of Surrey, because he was actually based in Surrey. But of course, you don't just sell Worcester porcelain in Worcester, so you don't just sell Surrey maps in Surrey. Up through here, these are particularly interesting, just right on the end here. These are one of my favourite maps here. And this is a 1612 edition here, basically areas surrounding London. Lovely map here with the Forest of St Leonard, the World Forest, there we go. And very unusual map that, and that's with a second edition one as well. And they're probably sort of £100 each, so interesting maps. Now, if you're all mapped out, and one thing my wife is never any good at is reading a map. Thankfully, satellite navigation system has saved our marriage on many occasions. We also have our furniture. So up through here, we've got bedside tables and chests, chest of drawers, Wellington chests, Italian chairs, library furniture, bedroom furniture, a little two-seater conversation chair here, or maybe you might want to call it a love seat, possibly, if you're in the mood for that. We've got more pictures, long case clocks and bookcases. This is quite interesting up here. This has come from a client over in Wiltshire. A really pleasant, easy-looking scene there. It looks like it should date to around about the sort of mid-1920s, but actually is a modern interpretation, and on a bit of a dark grey January afternoon, it certainly seems a lifetime away, but still a good-looking image. £100 to £200 on that one. Through here, we've got more rugs and a bird cage. Now, I don't personally like birds being in cages, but this is the sort of thing which is just a really good interior decorator's piece. Come again from a client in Somerset here. Love this sort of architectural detailing on it here. Piece like that, sort of £200 to £300, I suppose, that sort of area. Another big enamel sign. We've got a lot of dining room furniture as well. We've got this big extending dining table here. You can see quite clearly where the 3 extra leaves go into it. And this is the sort of thing that if I was sitting at this table, I'd have to sit up here. Now, the reason I had to sit up here is because we spotted earlier on this little bell down here. Now, we think it's probably more for calling the butler rather than Blofeld with James Bond, where he presses the button, the bloke falls off the seat and dies and what have you. But a big extending dining table like that, probably between £800 and £1,200. Still another big item across the back there is the lovely Chinese four-fold screen there, between £1,500 and £2,000. Again, the Chinese market is still good and hot to trot. Through here, more furniture. As I said, we've got a lot of pictures, and this is another modern picture. This is one of my favourite pictures in the auction here, entitled The Wedding Day here. We've not been able to find a great deal out about the artist called Reynolds there, but you know, quite a big, bold painting, isn't it, really? And that's between sort of £300 and £500. But if you like the unusual, then this table will probably get you going, and it's literally a four-legged table. And we say it's four legs because it is held on four legs. So there we go, auctions. We always know what we're talking about. So when we talk about a table on four legs, that's what we mean. On this occasion, I think actually the zebra legs, sort of £200 to £300. More chest of drawers and hanging corner cupboards and bedside cupboards and drawer leaf tables. In the far corner there, we've got a big collection of automobilia. But I'm just going to sort of whiz round and now nip in behind the cabinets. Talk to you about a few of my favourite little bits and pieces in here. Again, picture-wise, he's a fine-looking fellow. As most of you know me, anything which has got a spaniel in gets my vote. Quite a fine-looking fellow there, with his little country house in the background there. His favourite and loyal dog there. A fine-looking dandy. The condition isn't fantastic. We've lost some of the surface to the paper here. We've got some staining on it. It's been creased and folded, but it's still probably £100. Someone will spend a bit of time and effort and money and get it framed and look $1 million after that. But you know, when you talk about size matters. This is lot 241, come from a client in Cornwall. This one actually, a lovely looking lady. I do like this sort of a seed pearl frame surround, and she's in between sort of £250 and £300, somewhere in that sort of region. But also, still on the small scale, is this one here. This is a rare little girl on a pony, on the grey pony here. Sadly, she suffered a bit of restoration. Naomi is our Bezic expert, and despite the fact that the girl on the pony is restored, in the Bezic section, when she comes up under in the sale, she's estimated between £500 and £700. So despite the fact she's got a bit of restoration, she's still worth a few quid. This, on the other hand, is restored. Maybe have a look inside there. See the damage there, is restored. It's kind of glued. Very dusty in there, isn't it, George? This has also come from a client in Cornwall again, and this is a lovely sort of Leeds creamware jug here. And again, you've got these little vignettes on it. But what is much more interesting is here, Miss Mary Harry. You know, any sort of named pieces are particularly interesting, despite the damage. As a nice piece of Leeds pottery here, it's probably sort of £100, maybe £150. So that's a bit of a quick walk and talk through our big two-day auction coming up. We've got somewhere approaching around about 1,000 lots, and I hope you've enjoyed my walk and talk today.